Hi there. Since our last session, I hope you've been inspired and have been using the Dorian mode to create some grooves and bass lines of your own. So, moving on, I'd now like to show you the fifth mode of the major scale, something musicians call the Mixolydian Mode. As with our journey into the modes so far, let's continue to base our learning around the modes of the C major scale. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and create the Mixolydian mode, only using the notes from a C major scale. Now, as Dorian was the second mode of the major scale, the Mixolydian mode is what's known as the fifth mode of the major scale. Hopefully, as you remember, all we have to do to construct it is start from the fifth note. So, as we're looking at the modes of the C major scale, we start on the fifth note, which hopefully by now you know to be a G. So starting on a G and only using notes from a C major scale, the notes of a Mixolydian mode are as follows: G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and back to G. Hopefully, from what you've learnt so far, you realise that as we've started this Mixolydian mode from the note of a G, we'd quite simply and predictably name this mode G Mixolydian. So, for example, if the fifth mode of the C major scale is G Mixolydian, I hope you can see that the fifth mode of a D major scale would be A Mixolydian. A, of course, being the fifth note of D major. To summarise then, building a mode starting from the fifth note of any major scale will always create a Mixolydian mode. Let's now learn how to play this mode of G Mixolydian on the bass. You'll be pleased to hear that playing this mode is easy, as its shape or pattern on the fingerboard is exactly the same as a major scale, apart from one note. Okay. Starting from a G on the E string using your second finger like this, play up as if you were playing a G major scale, but when you get to the sixth note, stop before we continue on. So, we'd have G, A, B, C, D, and our sixth note, E. Now, the only difference between Mixolydian and the major scale, or Ionian mode, is that the seventh note is flattened. So to us as bass players, this just means moving the note down by one fret. So, as the seventh note of G major would be F sharp, we simply flatten this to give us an F. And then one tone up brings us to an octave G to complete a one octave pattern for G Mixolydian. Okay. To get this new shape of G Mixolydian under the fingers, let's play it along with the metronome. As always, to fit in with the click, play the root and octave G twice each time you change direction. I'll repeat G Mixolydian up and down 3 times. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. As always, please remember that this shape or pattern of notes on the fingerboard is movable to any key. For example, to play the mode of A Mixolydian, which if you recall is the fifth mode of a D major scale, just use this shape starting from the note of A, just like this. Okay, as with all scales and modes, let's try skipping in thirds through the notes that together make up G Mixolydian. Play along with me as I guide you through the sequence of notes. So going slowly on the way up, we'd have G to B, A to C, B to D, C to E, D to F, E to G, and to round things off musically, we go F, A, G. And going back down, we'd have G, E, F, D, E, C, D, B, C, A, B, G, and finishing with A, F, G. Again, practice this for a little while to get it under your fingers, and when you feel comfortable, continue on and we'll play it along with the metronome. Okay, let's skip in thirds up and down the G Mixolydian mode twice. As ever, to fit in with the click, hold on to the octave G and low G for twice as long each time you change direction. Ready? After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.